Chapter 107. Absolute Color Twins. Of course, the main thing was that Little Gold's fleshly body was extremely terrifying, especially after berserking. It was as if its body surface was plated with a golden film, raising his defense and attack to a terrifying level. Kang Tian knew that this was the natural effect brought about by Little Gold's berserking. On the other hand, the Millennium Crocodile on the other side wasn't simple either. Although its talent was far inferior to Little Gold, it won in terms of powerful cultivation. After 1,000 years of cultivation, the strength of the Millennium Crocodile's flesh wasn't much worse than Little Gold's at all. The two demonic beasts were thus engaged in a grueling melee under the heavenly tribulation, until a terrifying thunderbolt struck down in the sky, and only then did they separate, striking out together to deal with the heavenly tribulation. The heavenly tribulation didn't care who was underneath, as long as it didn't withdraw from the range it enveloped within the stipulated time. It was classified as an object of attack. At this point, the 1,000-year crocodile then sadly accompanied Little Gold to endure the heavenly tribulation. Together, Little Gold's heavenly tribulation was very terrifying. A thick thunderbolt bombarded down densely like raindrops, which was like when Wuxia crossed the tribulation and gave him time to recover. Like the Vajra divine monkey, such a powerful bloodline, the heavenly Tao gave the harshest test, almost a 9 deaths and 1 life test. Each strike of those robberies was equivalent to the full force of a strong person at the 9th level of the Jidan stage, straight splitting Little Gold, and the Millennium Crocodile roared angrily. Moreover, back then, Wuxia only crossed 9 times of the heavenly tribulation of tribulation thunder and then ended. But Little Gold has now crossed dozens of tribulation thunder, and the tribulation clouds in the sky still haven't dissipated and are still strengthening. Under the sky's estimation, without hundreds of them, this heavenly tribulation of Little Gold would not be able to end. Roar. The Millennium Crocodile continuously roared. At this moment, it had already suffered a heavy blow, and there was not much demonic energy left in its body. First it fought with Kang Tian, and then with Xiaojin. It had already consumed a lot, and at this moment, under dozens of robberies, it was in a critical condition. On the other hand, Small Gold is also not good. Its cultivation is not as good as the Millennium Crocodile. Plus this heavenly tribulation is always on its focus care, so it is now even more unbearable than the Millennium Crocodile. Kang Tian couldn't help but feel anxious in his heart. But Dan Huang's laughter came from his mind. It's all right. This little monkey will definitely be able to pull through. Kang Tian was instantly puzzled. Where did Emperor Dan get such confidence? But then he knew why Emperor Dan was so sure. It turned out that Little Gold grabbed a large handful of pills from somewhere and then quickly swallowed it. Instantly, the golden light on Little Gold's body flourished, once again erupting with a powerful aura. The Millennium Crocodile that was struggling to support itself on the side couldn't help but look dumbfounded, seemingly unable to understand how Little Gold recovered all of a sudden. But the heavenly tribulation didn't give it time to think, and once again bombarded it. The 1,000-year crocodile cried out miserably. Its skin split open by the splits, and many of its scales fell off. On the contrary, Little Gold, after it took the elixir, its strength recovered to 70%, and it was suddenly no longer in a sorry state. It dawned on Kang Tian in the distance. No wonder the Dan Emperor wanted to refine some restorative pills not long ago. It turned out to be prepared for Little Gold. The heavenly tribulation is going to be finished. I didn't realize that the Vajra divine monkey's heavenly tribulation would need to cross 9,981 heavenly tribulations, the same as the genius who formed the 9 revolutions golden pill and had to cross the most powerful heavenly tribulation. Emperor Dan's voice came. Kang Tian looked towards the sky, where the heavenly tribulation clouds had already begun to dissipate, and after splitting out more than 10 tribulation thunderbolts once again, They gradually dissipated into the air, and the sky suddenly returned to light. Is the 9-9 heavenly tribulation the most powerful heavenly tribulation? Kang Chon couldn't help but ask, as he was about to form the 9 revolutions Golden Dawn. He was afraid that he would have to face such a powerful heavenly tribulation as well. This time, Little Gold relied on the elixir and the 1,000-year crocodile to take the blame for it to get through it. If it was Little Gold himself, he definitely wouldn't have survived. From this, it could be seen that Little Gold's heavenly tribulation was terrifying. Kang Chon couldn't help but worry about his own heavenly tribulation. Did he also have to learn from Little Gold and find a guy to be a scapegoat? His eyes looked towards the millennium crocodile that had already been struck by the apocalypse, lightning in the distance, without knowing whether it was dead or alive, and he couldn't help but laugh dumbly. This time, Little Jin lucked out really well. At this time, the heavenly tribulation had slowly dissipated, and the sun's rays shone down. The earth regained its brightness. Xiao Jin successfully passed the heavenly tribulation. At this time is absorbing the baptism given by the heavenly tribulation. When it completely absorbs the essence of these heavenly tribulations, then it can be considered to be truly stepping into the Jiden stage. As the saying goes, life and death are intertwined. The heavenly tribulation is certainly the heavenly Tao as the greatest test for cultivators, but if you can successfully pass through the heavenly tribulation, you will also be baptized by the heavenly tribulation bestowed by the heavenly Tao, as the heavenly Tao is absolutely fair. Kang Chon couldn't help but look at Xiao Jin with envy. He knew that this time Xiao Jin's strength had a powerful metamorphosis and had completely surpassed him. Unless he also broke through the Jiden stage, he was not Xiao Jin's opponent. Compared to Xiao Jin's comfortable state at the moment, the millennium crocodile that also suffered from the heavenly tribulation on the side didn't have such a good chance. At the moment, it didn't know whether it was dead or alive, and collapsed on the side in blackness. This millennium crocodile today is considered unlucky, for no reason by the Kang Chon knife. Woke up, and then tragically by the small gold as a black pot, for it to resist a lot of heavenly tribulation. Presumably, this millennium crocodile would be the most tragic one to die among all the millennium crocodiles. Generally speaking, there are 9 types of heavenly tribulation, from 1-9 heavenly tribulation to 9-9 heavenly tribulation. The qualifications of cultivators are different. The heavenly tribulation they need to face will also be different. The 9 heavenly tribulation is already the most powerful heavenly tribulation a cultivator needs to face, and only some 1 in a million supreme geniuses will be able to attract this kind of powerful heavenly tribulation. Little Gold is a direct bloodline of the Vajra divine monkey, so the heavenly tribulation he faces is also one of the most powerful. Emperor Dan said as he came out of the reverse heavenly cauldron and looked at Little Gold, who is being baptized in the distance. At this moment, Little Gold's entire body was bathed in golden light, looking very sacred. Kang Chon sensed that within the golden light, Little Gold's aura was also growing stronger. So, when I reach the middle of the 9 revolutions realm, the heavenly tribulation that I need to face will also be this powerful, Kang Chon said. That's not necessarily true. Your kid possesses such a powerful bloodline as Kang Chon's hegemonic blood, and you're also going to form the 9 revolutions Golden Dawn. When these 2 things are added together, your heavenly tribulation might be the legendary other heavenly tribulation, Emperor Dan said in a deep voice. Otherworldly heavenly tribulation. Kang Chon was stunned. Legend has it that some heavenly tribulations will undergo incredible changes that are very difficult to comprehend. But those heavenly tribulations are invariably very terrifying, and very few people will be able to pass through them. So you brat must strengthen your strength in every way possible before you set your Dan, no matter if it's in your own cultivation or in magical treasures and elixirs. You need to prepare enough. Emperor Dan said gruffly. That would be so. Kang Chon's heart sank when he heard this. If it was only the 99 heavenly tribulations, he would have prepared some more pills and was confident that he could be sure of passing through. But listening to Emperor Dan's tone, this other heavenly tribulation was many times more powerful than even the 99 heavenly tribulations equivalent to the superposition of two kinds of heavenly tribulation, and I'm afraid that the power was far beyond imagination. Kid, you shouldn't worry too much. No matter how powerful the heavenly tribulation is, you can naturally achieve invincibility in your heart and continuously strengthen yourself. Emperor Dan saw Kang Chon's worried expression and spoke out to remind him. Kang Chon was stunned at his words. Right, whatever the heavenly tribulation, I just need to enhance my own strength. The rest is just worrying for nothing. There is no need for this. After thinking about it, Kang Chon sat aside and waited for Xiao Jin to finish his baptism. Different from the baptism that his grandfather Wang Tixiong received in the first place, although the heavenly tribulation that Xiao Jin faced was powerful, the baptism that he received at this moment was also far more than that of Wang Tixiong, and it was only in the evening that Xiao Jin woke up. Brother, 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 brother. While Little Gold was receiving the baptism, Kang Tian had been guarding around Little Gold, preventing it from being disturbed by the demonic beasts in the forest of demonic beasts. In the evening, a child's voice suddenly came, causing Kang Tian to be stunned. Hey! Kang Tian's brows furrowed as his gaze instantly looked towards Little Gold. At this moment, the golden light on Little Gold's body slowly disappeared, and it bounced and ran towards Kang Tian, opening its mouth wide and surprisingly letting out an intermittent voice. Brother, brother. Kang Tian was stunned. His eyes revealed a color of surprise and surprise. Little Gold could really speak. Xiao Jin looked very happy. It jumped to Kang Tian's shoulder, grabbed his hair and intermittently called brother. Very excited and excited. Haha, Little Gold, you really can talk. Haha. Kang Tian was also full of joy. Little Gold, brother, Little Gold. On the shoulder, Xiao Jin tilted his head, a look of scratching his ears, followed by an excited jump. Little Gold, Little Gold, Little Gold, Little Gold, Xiao Jin excitedly shouted. Kang Tian then realized that the name Xiao Jin was given by him. Xiao Jin himself had no concept of names before, but now he suddenly received the ancient emanation. His spiritual intelligence was enhanced and he knew many things. He was being happy about his name. Haha. This little monkey can finally talk. You kid will not be lonely in the future. Dan Emperor emerged and said smilingly. The Little Gold saw Dan Huang, immediately angry, open mouth wide and intermittently said, Bad, bad old man, bad old man. It still remembers that this old man bullied it. Emperor Dan sniffed. Immediately his old face was red, so angry that his mustache was sticking up. Ha ha ha. Kang Tian laughed out loud. Normally Xiao Jin liked to fight with Dan Huang. Now that it could talk, it was even more out of control. As the sun set in the west, the forest of demonic beasts fell into silence. Kang Tian brought Little Gold and started a new journey. A style of broken sky has been realized. Kang Tian felt that it was time for him to leave the forest of demonic beasts, and there was only half a year left before the Heavenly Dao Sect's disciple acceptance ceremony. And he also had to go to the imperial capital to complete that final battle contract. On a sunny day, a sudden clamor came from the forest of demonic beasts, and on a distant forest path, a team of over 100 people came roaring in, startling all kinds of low-level demonic beasts into scattering and fleeing. Hillary, suddenly, at the forefront of the procession, an old man tightened his horse's rope, causing the volatile procession to stop moving forward. Start resting and eating, and advance again in 3 hours, the old man shouted to the surrounding crowd, and immediately, a single cultivator dressed in the same attire began to come down to bury their pots and pans, and sparse sounds of conversations began to appear frequently. Uncle Ma, how far is it to the Bian pool? in the middle of a wide carriage, two stunningly beautiful young girls lightly moved their lotus steps and came. The one on the left was wearing a long aqua blue dress, looking very holy, while the one on the right was wearing a red dress, looking very bewitching and moving. These two women were both stunningly beautiful. As soon as they appeared, they instantly attracted everyone's attention. Those cultivators who were burying their pots and pans in the distance, one by one, their eyes sizzled as they looked over. The old man at the forefront, Uncle Ma, looked at the two young girls walking towards him with a kind face and said smilingly, "The two young ladies, this place is still 300 miles away from the bean pool. With our footsteps, we should be able to arrive in 3 days. Sister, you heard it. There are only 3 days left. We will definitely be able to arrive one step ahead of them and obtain the water spirit fruit." The red-skirted maiden on the side said in a delicate voice, looking somewhat mischievous in her expression. The young girl in the aquamarine blue dress somewhat dotingly patted her small head and softly said, "This time when the water spirit fruit appeared in the forest of demonic beasts, the news has already spread throughout the entire Demon Yuan city. If we don't make a move quickly, when the other forces arrive, it will be much more difficult to snatch it again." Missy is right. Although we may not be the first force to arrive at the bean pool, arriving a little bit earlier may be one less opponent. Uncle Ma also laughed.